Now, addition and subtraction of fractions here. So we will, before we go into the fraction form, I will get 5 plus 3 here. We know it's 8. If I tell you 2 plus 3, it's going to be 5. Now, why this is happening, we have to understand the basics here. Now, we call this one a whole number, right? And this one also a whole number. Now, we can write a whole number in fraction form. How do we do that? 5 can be written as 5 divided by 1, right? So 3 can be written as 3 divided by 1. So whole number, any whole number can be written in fraction form. You understand that. Now, for example, 100. 100 means 100 divided by 1. So that's the thing. So 2 is 2 divided by 1, 3 is 3 divided by 1, 5 is 5 divided by 1. Here also the same. Here also the same. I hope you understand that bit, right? Now, when you have 5 plus 3, it's 8. Now, what is the secret here? The secret is this. Underneath 5, you have 1. Underneath 3, you have 1. So this is called the denominator. This is called the denominator. This is called the numerator. Those are just words, okay? So you don't have to really worry about those words, but it's a common term in math, denominator and the numerator. You know that. Now, you can add the numerators. What I'm saying, you can add these two if these two are equal, right? That is the summary you can see from here. Can you see that? These two are equal so that these two can be added together. So that would be 5 plus 3, 8. Now you are going to copy your denominator. So answer would be this, right? So I'm going to give you a few examples here. Now 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. That's true, right? This is my first one. Second one, I'm going to have 1 divided by 2 plus 5 divided by 2. Now, what magic is here is that 2 means 2 divided by 1, 5 means 5 divided by 1. So now you can see 1 and 1 is going to match. So that means you can add these together easily. And that's why it becomes 7. So what would be your denominator? You just copy whatever you have here. You just copy whatever you have here. You are not going to add the denominator. I'm emphasizing you. We are not going to add these two. These two we are not going to add. We are not going to put 2 here. Right? So we are not going to add these two. We add only these two, 7. This one, you just copy. Get it? Okay. So, Rita, you get it?
Yes.
Good. So now, in the second example, now you can see, first of all, you have to pay attention the denominator. The denominators are the same. Yes, then game over. So if the denominators are the same, what you have to do is you copy the denominator here and you add these two. So 1 plus 5, 6. That's it. Very easy. So answer should be 6 divided by 2. Again, if I give you 5 divided by 3 plus 1 divided by 3 plus 2 divided by 3. So you don't have to worry about these things, right? These things are equal. So what is the strategy? If your denominator, the bottom part is equal, numerators you can add together. No issue. So 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then this guy, what do? You are going to copy that common value. So you are going to copy the common value. Very easy. Then the next one. If you have 5 divided by 4 minus 1 divided by 4. Now, it doesn't matter you have plus or minus here. You do the same operation in fractions. Now you can see here, this one, denominators are common. So that means you can copy that denominator And then what you have to do here, you have to minus, right? 4 minus 1 is going to be 5. 5 minus 1 is going to be 4. So now if you want 4 divided by 4 is 1, you can do that. Easy. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to discuss the fraction addition or subtraction with different denominators. So we will take this example here. Easy example. 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 3. How to solve this, right? Now when you have a thing like that, can you see that these two are different? So if those two are different, you can't add, right? So that is what we learned. We have learned that if these two are equal, denominators are equal, yes, you can do that magic to the numerator. So you can do that here. But when you have different denominators, what to do? What to do, right? So what you have to do is you have to make a common denominator. You need to make a common, right? Common denominator. You have to make a common denominator. So how to make a common denominator? Understand this. What you do when you are here, you are going to multiply this one from this guy, which is 3. And the top part as well. What you do, these are the things that we have to know. Okay. So no brain involves here, right? It's just a method I'm teaching you. So you have to blindly use that method everywhere. Why? Because our need is to find the common denominator. So what you have to do is you have to multiply this by 3, the top part by 3, and the 3 by 2, top by 2. Right? So understand the pattern here. So I'm going to write it here. 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by 3. What you're going to do is you're going to multiply by this by 3, top by 3, and then 3 by 2, top by 2. So if you multiply 2 by 3, it is a must that you have to multiply the top part from the same number. Okay. So this and this you can see, right? So if you are not familiar with it, you will be. Now what you have to do is you can write 1 times 3 is 3. And then 2 times 3 is going to be 6. Just copy paste, plus sign. Then you have 1 times 2 is 2. You put 2 here. And then you have 3 times 2 here, again 6. You're going to put 6 here. Easy. Now you have that in a different form. Now look at the denominator here. Are they equal now? They are equal. So game over. If they are equal, we have satisfied what we have to satisfy, right? So what you can do now, you copy the common denominator here, and you can plus the numerators. 3 plus 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. That's the answer. Okay. So now I'll give you this, for example. So you will do it with me. 1 divided by 5 plus 2 divided by 3. Now you can see here again, the denominators are different. So you have to make it the same, right? So what you do, you multiply this by 3, the one here. You do the same thing to the top. You multiply 3 by 5, which is this, and you do that to the top. Now what you do, you can see you write individually now. 1 times 3, 3. 5 times 3, 15. Plus 2 times 5, 10 here. 3 times 5, 15. You just simplify. You simplify this, 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 and here, right? Those things. That means this would be this. This would be that, right? So I hope you understand that. Then now you can see, yes, 15, 15, common. So that's why we say common denominator. So we got that. So that would be 15 here. So the numerators you can add. Answer is 30. Easy. Right. So let's do this question. So that question would be 1 divided by 2 plus 2 divided by 3 plus 1 divided by 4. Okay, let's try. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, so now you can see 2, 3, 4 different. Okay, so that means what we have to do is we have to make a common denominator. So to make a common denominator, the strategy would be you are going to multiply this with these two, 3 and 4. You are going to multiply this one with the rest, 2 and 4. One second. Okay, so 4 you are going to multiply by the rest, which is 2 and 3. So you have to do the same thing to the top. I'm going to copy. This is 2 and 3. 2, I'm going to copy whatever I have in the bottom, 2 and 4. Here, 3 and 4. Now, if you do so, what you are going to do is you are going to simplify this and simplify this and simplify this. So if you simplify, what you get is okay. So then what I'm doing here is here 2 times 3 times 4 is going to be 6. 6 times 4 is going to be 24. So I'm going to have 24 here. Top you have 1 times 3 times 4 is going to be 12 plus then again 24. Top you have 2 times 2 4. 4 times 4 is 16 plus, right? So I did this one, right? Now I'm going to do this. That would be 24 again. Now I'm going to do this. That would be 1 times 2 2. 2 times 3 6. Now you can observe these are equal. So that is the common denominator now. So what you do now, you copy that denominator and then you can add these 3. So that would be 12 plus 16 is going to be 28. 28 plus 6 is going to be 34. So 34 divided by 24 is the answer. Now let me teach you what is a variable. Let me teach you what is a variable. Right. So first of all, variable is a letter. You can denote by a letter, right? You represent this by a letter. Okay. So you represent this by a letter. For example, you can say A, B, capital letters, any capital letter, capital X, capital Y, any capital letter can be used, or any simple letter can be used. Doesn't matter. Right? Doesn't matter. It's just a name, right? For example, now X plus Y, right? X plus Y. You have X plus Y. Now, do you know the X value here? Do you know the Y value here? No, right? It's just X plus Y. So if someone asks, what is X plus Y? You have to ask, we don't know. Why? Because we don't know what is X. We don't know what is Y. But if X is equal to 2, Y is equal to 1, now what is X plus Y? Now we are talking something makes sense, right? So 2 plus 1 now. So I'm talking about 2 plus 1. It's 3 now. So x plus y becomes 3 now when x and y values are specified. Now again, if x is equal to 3, y is equal to 4. Now what is x plus y? Now what is x plus y? 3 plus 4, 7, right? 3 plus 4, 7. So that means in math, you can make variables like x comma y, right? So x can be any value. X can be any value and y can be any value. Example, if x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3, find 1 divided by x plus 1 divided by y. Take over. Very good. So now what I'm saying here, look, what I'm saying here, I'm saying x is 2, right? So you just substitute that. What's wrong with it? This is what it is, right? And then y is 3. So that is what is mentioned here. So 1 divided by 3. What's wrong with it? So they have given you this detail in a different way. Who cares? So you just form it in a right way. Then you multiply this by 3, top by 3, this one by 2, top by 2. So what you get here? 3 divided by 6 plus 2 divided by 6. Now you get the common denominator, 6 here, and top you have 5. That's the answer. Easy. Now I'm going to challenge you a little bit, right? Now I'm going to challenge you a little bit, right? Fine. Simplify 1 divided by x, not 1 divided by x. So I'm going to say 1 divided by p plus 1 divided by q. Okay, do that. Now here, p value and the q value is not mentioned. P value and the q value is not mentioned. So now, what is the problem here? The problem here is p value is not given. Q value also not given. But we have to still live with it, right? Then this is a fraction that we understand. This is another fraction that also we understand. Now you have to add the fractions. That also we can see. Now, what is the fundamental theory to add fractions? You should have a common denominator. But do you have a common denominator? No, right? See, P and Q, no common. Then what you have to do, we will stick with our fundamental theory, which is you are going to multiply this by Q, top part by Q, Q by P, 1 by P. So if you do that, I'm going to simplify this now. 1 times Q. 1 times Q is Q. 1 times mango is mango, right? Just one mango, right? And divide by P times Q is PQ. Plus 1 times P is P. Divide by, again, PQ. Then answer would be P plus Q divided by PQ. Dylan's answer also correct, but you put 1 here, but and you put 1 here and 1 here and 1 here, right? That answer is correct. That's why I said simplify it a little bit. I didn't say wrong, right? So typically we don't leave 1 PQ or 1 PO or 1 Q because we need to show our maturity when we do something. So we are going to leave it because 1 times P is P, right? For example, if you want to say 1 times 4, are you going to leave it like 1 times 4 or you just say 4? You just say 4, right? So this is your maturity, not that. Okay, so remember those things. Okay. Now The next part would be this. If you have P and Q, can you add? Can you add P and Q? You can't. It's like this. One cat plus one dog. Can you add? No. But you can do this, right? One cat plus one cat. This can, right? Two cats. Right? So that simple example tells you, you can add similar terms only. You can't add P and Q. It's like cat and dog. You can't do. Right? Again, what I'm saying is P plus Q, you can't simplify. But if you have P plus P, yeah, one toffee plus one toffee, two toffees. Right? So that is possible. Okay. Okay. So we'll extend this knowledge furthermore. Example, simplify this. 1 divided by P plus 1 divided by 2P. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to discuss this question in two different ways. So you have to pay attention in both. This is your method. This is my method. Okay. So your method is this. You have 1 divided by P plus 1 divided by 2P. So what you did, you multiply this by 2P. You multiply this by 2P. Then you multiply this by P. You multiply this by P. Correct? 100% correct. Then what you did, you try to simplify this. So what is 1 times 2P? 1 times 2P is 2P. Then what is P times 2P? You put that as P times 2P, right? You just leave it like that, right? That's fine. Just leave it for now. Plus, then you have P divided by, again, P times 2P. This is what you answer, right? This is what you answer. Now, can you see here, the denominator is the same, right? See, you can see the same thing. So why don't you copy that here? You can say P times 2P. And then what about the numerator now? 2P plus P. What is plus P means? Plus 1P, right? So what is 2 cat plus 1 cat? 3 cat, right? So that means 2P plus 1P should be 3P, right? So you can put that there. Easy. Okay. Yeah. So you can have this as the answer. There is a further simplification. I'm not going to teach you that simplification right now. Later on, you will understand how to simplify this more. Okay. My method. Look at my method. My method would be 1 divided by P plus 1 divided by 2P is my original question. Now, I'm going to have an observation. What I need to do? I need to make a common denominator. So you have P here, you have 2P here. They are not common, right? I'm going to make what? A common denominator. Now, I will be a little smart here. Look, what if I multiply this by 2 only and top part by 2? What if I multiply this 2 only? Then can you see 2P and 2P matching each other? That is called being smart, throwing the experience, knowing the facts, right? It is okay that we do in this way. That everybody knows that method, right? But that method can be inconvenient in some places, right? So understand how to play with it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by 2, top by 2. Then what I'm going to have is 2 divided by 2P plus 1 divided by 2p. Easy peasy. Then you can see common denominator. See 2p, 2p. That would be now 2p. Now in the numerator you have 2 and 1. When you add those together, 3. That would be the answer. Got it? Okay. Now, last question in here. 1 divided by 2p plus 1 divided by 2q. Simplify this. Now you have to make this and this common, right? To make this and that common, what you have to do here? Can you see 2 and 2 is common?
Yes.
Okay, so what you have to do is this. Simple methodology. Understand? Simple methodology. If you look into this, you have a number and you have a letter, right?
Yes.
Here you have a number, you have a letter, right? To make it common, compare number to number and letter to letter. Number 2. Do you have number 2 here? Yes, right? So you don't have to worry. Letter to letter. You have P and Q. Are they equal? No, right? So now you have to change letters only. See, number to number, they are matching. Can you see 2 and 2 matching? They are common. So you don't have to worry about it. Now think about letter to letter. If you think about letter to letter, P and Q, they are not common. So make them common. How come? You multiply P by Q, top by Q. Then Q by P, top by P. Now can you see here you have 2PQ, 2PQ. Became common, right? Right, Riza? Got it or not?
Yes. So would the denominators be 2p?
2PQ means 2 multiplied by P multiplied by Q, okay? So it would be now Q divided by 2PQ plus P divided by 2PQ. So now your common denominator would be 2PQ. Now, can you add these together? No, it's like you're adding a cat to a dog, right? You can't. So if you can't, you leave it. That's the answer. Okay. Another one. Now here, I told you, you have to compare number to number, letter to letter to make a common denominator. You have a number here, right? What is the number you have here? 1. P is 1 times P. P means 1P, right? So that 1 is hidden. Okay. So now you have 2 here, you have 1 here. So what you have to do, you have to multiply this by 2 and then multiply this by 2. Now you can see 2 and 2, they match together. Then letter to letter, letter to letter. They are matching, right? P to P, they are matching. So you don't have to do anything. So just write it. Here, 2 times 2 is 4. Divide by 2P minus 1 divided by 2P. Then you can see denominators are matching. Then you can put 2P here. Then 4 minus 1. What is 4 minus 1? Okay, so now here you have 1. Now, number to number, 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 number. They are not matching. Letter letter, letter. They are matching. So we don't have to touch letters, right? Because letters are matching. Common sense now, right? So we will use our experience now, right? So we are not going to touch letters now. Letters, letters, letters. They are matching now. Numbers, 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 they are not matching. So what we are going to do is we are going to match the numbers, right? Now, how to do that? To match the numbers, 1 is multiplied with 2 and 3. So do the same thing here. That's the theory part. 2, you are going to multiply with 1 and 3. So you do the same thing here. 3, you are going to multiply with 2 and 1. So you're going to do the same thing here. So once you do that, you get 6 divided by 6x here plus 3 divided by 6x here plus 2 divided by 6x here. Then here you can see 6x, 6x, 6x common, right? So we are satisfying that common denominator. Now that would be 6x. Now you can add these together, right? So that's going to be 11. Okay, look. Now here, again, we will use the strategy. Number to number, different. Letter to letter, different. So what we do, we have to match both, right? So to match number, you have to multiply by 3, top by 3. 3 by 2, top by 2. That bit is fine. So now you can see here it's 6, here is 6. We match number to number. Here 6, here 6, number to number, right? So we don't care what is happening here. It's just you multiply with the same number, you multiply the denominator. We mainly consider the denominator. Now number to number is fine. Now we'll go for letter to letter. X to X, X to Y. They're different. So now what we do, you multiply Y by X by Y, top by Y, Y by X, numerator by X. Easy. Now what we do, simplify a little bit. Now 3 times 1 times Y is going to be 3Y. Divide by 3 times 2, 6. Here, 3 times 2, 6, 6xy. Right? Can you see that? 3 times 2, you know that is 6, right? So you put 6 there, here, and then xy, just write xy. Xy means x multiplied by y, right? So the meaning of this one would be 6 multiplied by x multiplied by y. So you write that one as 6xy. That's the understanding, right? If you see this, you have to understand, oh, this is what it is. Then plus denominator, you have again 6xy. Numerator, you have 1 times 2 is 2 times x is 2x. So it's going to be 2x. Now, what we do, 6xy is common. You can see, I'm going to write 3y plus 2x. Now, my question is, can you simplify this? Can you simplify that? You cannot, right? This is like 3 dogs plus 2 cats. You can't, right? So you have to logically understand that. I have seen some students, they just blindly say 6xy. They just blindly say, oh, 5xy. Right? So math is not a blind game. Math is like a game. You know the detail. Otherwise, if once you see this one, oh, blindly, this is 6xy. Oh, 5xy. So you can't write it like that. You have to know the detail, right? That detail is very logical. Okay. So what is the answer? This would be the answer.